He leans back at the table and looks into the living room and sees you dealing with the issues of your life? How will he find you? He walks up to that banquet window and he clears it out and peers in on your situation. Will he find you pouring out your best? Or will he find you holding up your alabaster jars that are formed from the properties of the world, holding on to those things, holding a grudge against someone you're supposed to love? Will he find you wearing a Christian t-shirt and drinking a fifth, trying to fit in with the popular crowd? How will he find you? Will he find you responding to your boss in a way that's dishonoring and disrespectful to him? Will he find you dropping your kids off on the steps of a hospital because you can't deal anymore? Will he find you going from relationship to relationship because the first time somebody gets on your nerves, you move on? How will he find you? That's the question. So it's not an issue of him abandoning us. It's an issue of him letting things transpire in your life, watching you to see how you're going to respond to those situations. And once we have faith to know that he will never abandon us and never forsake us in our less than ideal situations, it makes it so much easier to break that which is holding us back and to make the necessary sacrifices. Give you an illustration quickly. I have 2 kids at home. One is Adam, he's 4. He is afraid of the dark. He has this alabaster jar of fear. My daughter Kennedy is 6. She's just a cuddle bug, loves to cuddle with mom. And we have this hard and fast rule in our home that once we're in bed, we don't get out of bed. There are 3 things that allow us to get out of our bed. One is if the house is on fire and your door is not hot, you can leave. 2, if you're sick and you've actually thrown up in your mouth and you can taste it, you can get up. And the 3rd and final is if you have to go to the bathroom and a little piece come out, you can get up. Until then, don't get out of your bed. I don't want to be woke up 10 times in the night saying, I can't sleep. You can't sleep? Well, you can't sleep by yourself. I want to sleep, so don't get out of your bed. Well, I work out in the mornings. I have a workout partner that I get up with in the mornings between 4:15 and 5, depending on what day it is. We get up, we go work out. And my wife tells me that as soon as the garage door closes, the kids are in the room. Out of their beds, in the room, cuddling with their mom. And it's precious. I love it. It warms my heart to know that they love their mom that much and they want to cuddle with their mom, but underlying that is disobedience. It's supposed to stay in their bed, right? One day I get a text message from my buddy who says, hey man, I'm not going to work out this morning. I think to myself, sweet, I can just take a shower and get to work a little bit early. And so I do that. I get in the shower, I get out, put on deodorant, put on my Axe body spray all over, and I get dressed, and I'm walking to the door. And now the garage hasn't closed yet, so the kids are kind of thrown off. The timetable's thrown off, and they haven't heard. They're not sure if I'm there or not. So I'm at the door, getting ready to walk out of my bedroom. I hear the pitter-patter of little feet come running down the hallway. They come in there, and it's such a rate, I know there's 4 feet and not 2 feet. And they're standing there outside of the door, and I hear Kennedy say, do you think he's gone? And I'm thinking to myself, I can't wait for them to open the door and see the look on their face and see Daddy and the long arm of the ball. So I'm standing there and I hear Kennedy say, do you think he's gone? But I hear Adam go. No, he's still here. I can smell him. I go back to bed. And true to form, he smells me, he runs back to his room. And what this 4-year-old boy said in his infinite wisdom at 4 years old was, because my father has told me how he wants me to live my life, since he's given me clear instruction on how he wants me to behave and act, and because I know that he's here with me, I'm going to break my alabaster jar of fear and go back to being obedient and doing what he's called me to do. And that's what God is trying to tell us today. Just because you can't see him, just because you feel like he's inactive in your situation, if we have faith to know that he's always present, it will be easier to break that which is holding you back if we just stop for a second and smell the sweet aroma of his spirit and know that he's with us. We can pour out our best, ultimately, for his glory. Are you with me? So the first thing we do is we break that which is holding us back, that's been formed from the properties and the minerals of the world that are popular and worldly. Secondly, we identify those things of high value that are important to us, that need to be sacrificed, that are keeping us from the will of God and keeping us from pouring out our best. And lastly, we have to recognize that whatever we're going through, God is present in our situation. So that's kind of the recap. I want to show a video because I want to show a picture of someone that is pouring out their best. I'll make a couple more comments and then we'll have communion. Maybe not. Take 2 points. That's the screwed top version.
January 10th, 1962. We knew there was something wrong, but we did not know exactly what. The doctor said, forget Rick. Put him away, put him in an institution. He's going to be nothing but a vegetable for the rest of his life. We cried a little bit. We talked, and we said, no, we're not going to put Rick away. We're going to bring Rick home and bring him up like any other child. We knew Rick was smart. We could tell by looking in his eyes. And when we talked to him, he was paying attention to what we were saying. So we wanted to get a computer built so Rick could communicate with us. Everybody came to our house that night for Rick to say his first words, and everybody was betting, what is the first words Rick is ever going to say? His mom's saying, it's going to be hi, Mom. Me, the dad, saying, no, it's going to be hi, Dad. Well, the Boston Bruins were going for the Stanley Cup, and the very first words Rick ever said was, go Bruins.
I may be disabled when I live a very fulfilling life. And if someone takes the time to get to know me, they will realize that I am no different than anyone else.
Here he is. He graduated from public high school. He's graduated from college. He's out there competing in road races and triathlons. He lives a happier life probably than 95% of the population. Rick would tell you that, if he was physically able to do something, that he'd probably play basketball or football or hockey. But then he always says, no, the first thing he'd do is have me sit down in his wheelchair and he'd push me.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, one will my heart feel. Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in all of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees, or will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes.